On the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
.607 on the Get Up and Go Show. It's Evan and Bonnie. Thursday. It's the Thursday edition. And, of course, Phil is back in the saddle from YouTube. Has his own show, Phil's Notebook. Has about 2 followers, but that's all right. Good morning,
that's
Phil.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Doing really good. Hello, Bonnie.
Hello. Good morning, Phil.
I want to say good morning to Fredo. Good morning, Fredo.
Good morning, Evans.
How's the
How
band?
you doing?
How's the band doing?
Doing good, man. We're doing good.
Very good.
Wait for the breakfast from Bentley this morning.
Yep, he's in the back cooking. Let me summon him. Hold on.
You rang, sir.
Yes, good morning, Bentley. How are you, young man?
Doing well, sir.
Very good. Thank you for joining us and being here this morning. I know you're busy cooking breakfast, so we'll check in with you in a little bit and see how breakfast is doing for Fredo and the Shy Guys. I appreciate you getting in here extra early and getting the palatial buffet going. I expect nothing less than a 5-star breakfast this morning out of you.
It'll be my pleasure, sir.
Thank you, Bentley. Skedaddle out of here and go right back to the kitchen that's over in the corner over there here at the Palatial Studios. We've done some upgrades here at the WSTU Studios, and we have our concierge service. We have kitchen facilities and all sorts of goodies. So I want to thank the powers to be for upgrading our studios down here in Stuart, Florida, Bonnie.
Yeah, a little bit money was spread along out monetarily, but
Yeah.
we are served quite well around here in the morning.
Yes, we are. We're very appreciated, which makes me feel good. They gave us a huge raise last week, so I'm very happy about that. So things are going quite well. They
Not
lifted,
many radio stations have a concierge.
yeah,
service,
that's
so.
true. Like I said, they gave us a raise, and I noticed my chair is sitting up about 5 more inches. So I think that's what the raise was, without a doubt. Anyway, let me start off with Bonnie. How was your day yesterday, Bonnie?
My day yesterday? Well, I dove into that strawberry pie that I bought from a local grocery store right here.
Head first or feet first? Which one?
Face first.
Face first. So you face planted in the pie.
I did. I tried to negotiate, by cutting myself a little slice, a little bit of a sliver of that. And then I bought some of that fresh whipped cream, that swirls around and you swirl it out, the kind that you're probably only supposed to get around the holidays.
So you're a whipped cream kind of girl.
I am.
Okay. All right. No problem.
There you
Very
go.
good. Very good.
So my one little slice turned into 2 little slices.
That means you had one big slice and a glob of whipped cream.
Yeah.
What Gary have to say about that?
I had a little pie with my whipped cream. I'm a
you.
lover of the whipped cream.
Thank you very much.
Cream.
Yes. Very nice. Very nice.
Well, Gary didn't have any. He
No.
kind of stayed back from the pie, and he's got the skinny waist, so he needs it more than I do. That's for sure.
Okay.
I heard that.
That's right. You better believe it. All right, Phil. So tell me about how your day was over the last day or so.
It was pretty good.
Right.
Things are changing in my life, so
Okay.
it's good in a good way. So it's hey, how was your day
I know
yesterday?
that's right.
Yeah, that's right. I know that's right for sure. Now, what did you say?
I said, how was your day yesterday?
Oh, you don't even want to go there, please. Couch is not
Okay.
comfortable last night. That's all I got to say.
Do you have a very soft couch, the one you can sleep upon?
No, it wasn't comfortable to sleep on last night. That's all I'm going to say. It's not a very comfortable experience. I got about 2 hours sleep last night.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on. Next topic. Don't want to discuss it. Let me see. I lost my complete train of thought. Oh, so Phil, can we make the announcement yet? Are we allowed to do that or no?
I want to wait till next week, please.
You want to wait till next week?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So
'Cause,
I have a question to ask you. When you found out that you were going to be a dad, you're a dad twice over, right?
Yes.
Okay. So did Veronique come to you and say this?
You my baby's daddy.
That's what I wanted to know. Did she say that to you? No.
No,
Are you sure
not
she
like
did?
that. No.
Are you sure she didn't
No.
You
say?
my baby's daddy.
Are you
No,
positive?
Nope,
Okay.
not at all.
No.
No,
Well,
no.
what
I'm surprised I haven't had some ladies come up and say that to me though.
Oh, well, maybe they will say.
You my baby's daddy.
That's right. Okay.
You're loving that drop,
I
aren't you?
do. I love that.
Phil
Something
has
out of
kids that your kids are quite a few years apart in age, aren't they?
Yes.
Aren't there
I got
two?
one. I have my son Philip. He's 20. He's about ready to turn 21 here in about a week and a half.
What's the age spread between them?
About 10 years.
Really? See, there's a huge age spread between my 3 and my youngest because Gavin's 17 and the oldest are 28. Well, it's 11 years. So the oldest, the middle kids are 28 and then the oldest is 30.
Yeah.
So there's 11 years. So I got you beat by 1.
Yeah. And then my daughter is 10,
Well,
obviously.
I think you and Veronique need one more.
Yeah.
No. We're done.
Are you really?
Not happening. Oh, yeah, we're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you done as in 100% done?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
Very good.
Nothing's happening anymore making children wise in that
Okay.
respect.
I won't get into
So.
personal and ask why. So not for anybody's business.
But I'm sure that little girl just loves her big brother. Like, does
Of
she
course
just
she does.
look up
Oh,
to
yeah.
him
Gosh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, they're inseparable.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's fun.
she got upset when he left to go back home
Sure.
to Georgia, and then she looks for. Oh man, she doesn't stop talking about it. When right before he gets here, she'll talk about it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I went through that when I was a little girl because my oldest brother and I are 12 years apart, Russell. And when he went to the army in Germany, when I was just a bitty girl, you know, it's just like a little girl when he went.
Wow.
So I would just, and then the day that he came home after his service, and my mom said that he was home and we're going to pick him up 13 miles away. That was one of the most exciting rides in our car with my family that I had was to pick him up.
I'm getting sad listening to this. You know why? I don't have any brothers or sisters.
Oh, you don't?
No, I'm a
So
soul.
you're a spoiled only child.
Oh, take the word spoiled off of there because let me tell you something. I earned everything that I have to this day. This child right here, his first job was at Publix at the age of 13 years old.
Oh, so was mine.
Making $2.25 an hour plus tips. We were allowed to take tips back in the day. So I would always look for the big orders, and then I would long to take out those large orders because I knew the tip was going to be really good. And back in the day, if you got $1 for a tip, that was a lot of money.
Oh yeah, back then, like when you were 13.
Yeah.
And even what Publix paid an hour back then was
$2.25 an hour.
Good money for a youngster for sure.
And the registers, the registers they had back in the day, those were ridiculous because you had to punch in, like you punched a button and then you hit whether it was produce or general grocery or whatever. And that's how you rang crap up.
Wow.
That way.
See, for me, when I worked for Publix as a kid, it was when I was around 13, 14, my pay was $3.35 an hour.
Oh, you got more than I did. I'm jealous.
Yeah. And we had the old time card, where you just thing and it punched the hole in it for in and out the time.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Was
time clock was right inside the door that flapped open to go out to the customer service area.
Yeah,
that's
up
where
in
our
the
time
break
card was.
room for us at least. That was out in Lighthouse Point next to Deerfield there. So
I worked at the Publix on Commercial Boulevard in 441. That's the one that that's the one that I worked out. And my manager's name was Mr. Evers. I'll never forget the guy's name.
Mr. Chowning, I remembered.
Yeah. And the uniforms back then were hideous. It was black dress pants, black shoes. You had to wear a white shirt and
with the black tie.
The black tie. And then
the green apron.
Yes. No, it wasn't green back in the day.
I had a green apron. I had to wear a green apron.
No, they must have changed the color because we had to wear a white apron.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had to wear a white apron.
We had green.
Yeah. And then every Saturday night, that was our scrub night. So we had to get the old scrub machine out and we scrubbed the floors.
Oh, wow.
And I hated that.
Really?
Boy, did I
I
hate
used to
that.
love that. That
No.
was fun.
I hated that because they wouldn't let me run the machine. I
Oh.
wasn't old enough.
Were you able to wear a sweater underneath your attire?
Nope.
Because every time I
Nope.
go in Publix, I feel chilly.
No. Nope, not at all.
I think nowadays
I don't think they had air
able-
conditioning back in the day.
Yeah, that could very well be.
But you know what? I don't know if you noticed now. The
Mhm.
scrubber machine.
Yeah.
Walmart.
Clark. Yeah, it was a
has-
Clark machine. That's what it was called.
But Walmart now, they don't have anybody sitting on it now. It literally does it on its own now. It
Well-
wanders around the store.
It's like a
doesn't
big
hit anything,
giant
and
Roomba.
it cleans the floor.
It's an oversized Roomba.
Oversized one. Yeah.
Roomba
Yeah,
here,
it's
Roomba
crazy.
there, Roomba everywhere.
I swear, I think I have a magical Roomba in my living room lately. Do you know why?
Why?
Because my floors in my living room and throughout my kitchen have been staying clean.
Have you ever asked if Gary's been cleaning?
It's remarkable.
It might be Gary doing that.
Maybe he is when I'm
And
sleeping
you don't
at
know
night.
about it.
I mean,
Or is that remarkable that he keeps it clean?
but
Yeah.
usually by this time of the week, I have little dust things laying all over the floor for
Mhm.
Jack Frosty hairs, coffee stains, when you're going out with that coffee and the coffee kind of spills here and there.
Yeah, I constantly have to empty my vacuum 4 times in one day when I run it because of the dog. The dog hair is just ridiculous. It fills up the vacuum and I've got to empty it like 4 different times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm afraid to.
That-
I'm going to answer this
that
call
hair gets
off.
all
I'm going
over.
to answer this call off the air
Okay.
because I just would rather play it safe.
Okay.
Hello, who's calling, please? Oh, all right. Hold on. I'm going to put this call on the air.
I
One
thought it was
second.
for me.
No,
I thought you were passing the phone to me.
No, I just want to make sure, with everything that's been going on this week, God only knows who might be
Oh,
calling.
Yeah.
Hi, you're on the air. Who's this? Oh, look, it's the cat.
My goodness.
Here we go. Kitty's calling.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
Big Kitty.
it's Big Kitty. Yeah, good morning, cat. How are you? Do you have a name? That's yes. Okay. I don't know how we can communicate what your name is because all you do is meow like a cat, which you are.
We just call it Big Kitty, even though it sounds rather small. You got a puny voice for such a big kitty cat.
Yeah, that's true. So, why am I having a conversation with a cat at 6:18 in the morning? This is just ridiculous. This is better than the person calling from Vegas that called me for an hour straight.
He sounded a little bit off, didn't he?
A little, that's
bit,
an understatement.
A little bit out of it. Yeah, the cat sounds like it has
Yeah.
more spice going on in its morning.
Yeah, maybe you could join the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Hey, Cat, do you live locally here in Stewart? Okay, so the cat lives in
It's
Stewart.
right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know where our station is? Okay, so the cat knows where the station is.
Yeah.
Are you a male? Okay, so it's a boy.
Male.
We've
big
established
kitty.
that.
Yeah.
Are you a colored cat or are you white? Do you have white fur or black fur? No, you can't answer that. So let me just go down the gamut. Do you have black fur? No, that's a no.
Oh, good,
do you have-
because
do
we
you
don't
have-
want black kitties crossing our path.
Oh no, don't say that because then people are going to think the wrong thing.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, please
'Cause-
don't say that.
Yeah, black kitties are beautiful
Black
too.
kitties are beautiful.
I-
Do you
I've
have
had one.
white fur? No. Okay. So that means you're calico, correct? Okay, so it's a calico cat.
Oh.
All right. So cat, we have to let you go because we have to do news. Is that all right with you? Okay, goodbye. All right. Well, the cat's
A
gone.
cat can listen to the news
Phil,
now.
what the heck is going on?
What's happening here?
Help me,
I don't
Phil.
know. I just sit back and listen to that because I like listening to the cat.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well,
That we
what's-
have a cat listening to the show and he calls in.
Yeah. And what's even worse is I have a conversation with the cat.
But all I can see is
I've lost it. I have lost it. I'm having a conversation with a cat.
The only thing I can think of is he's sitting next to his litter box. There's a little transistor radio there,
Yeah.
and he's flipping through the channels and he hears the show. He likes the show, so he wants to call in and participate. And he just gets on his cell phone
Yeah.
and he calls.
After he takes a nice long pee.
Yeah, it's in there, leaving
Wow.
like Tootsie Rolls
That's a
there. yeah.
visual that I don't want to see. 6:21. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Take it away, Bonnie.
Thank you, Evan. Face coverings now are the law here in Martin County. Following unanimous county commission approval Tuesday, masks must be worn anywhere in the public, including in restaurants and businesses. Violations can be enforced with a civil fine. Still, even in after hours of contentious debate, several questions remain on what the new local law means. The face covering law is to remain in effect until August 8th or until the local state of emergency ends, whichever comes first, with no indication the public health crisis will end soon as cases and hospitalizations because of the coronavirus continue to rise in Martin County. The mandate intended to slow the spread of COVID-19 will remain for at least 1 month. New coronavirus cases in Florida are again approaching the 10,000 mark. The total is close to 224,000. 48 additional deaths reported yesterday. And Governor Ron DeSantis was on the Rush Limbaugh show yesterday, defending his decision to order Florida's public schools to reopen at least 5 days a week next month.
You want society to function. Shutting down is not going to help things. It creates all kind of other problems, and we got to keep society going. And then you obviously could take appropriate precautions within the context of the economy being running, schools, all that.
The governor says they have the necessary protocols in place to keep students and teachers and school staff safe. A Central Florida sheriff says the state is not telling the whole truth when it comes to the coronavirus data. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitewood says instead of numbers driving the agenda, it's the other way around.
It's going to be up to the American public and Floridians and the private sector to come together and say, get government out of the way and let's go forward and fix this thing.
Chitewood believes the Department of Health is massaging the numbers to make things appear better than they are. New help could be on the way for some St. Lucie County residents who are suffering economically from COVID-19. WPTV's Derek Lowe has more.
County leaders say they've received nearly $14 million in state funding to help with COVID-related expenses, and then more could be on the way very soon.
Anything will help.
Amber Gilbert is just one of several St. Lucie County residents who has been economically impacted by COVID-19.
Basically, we had about 43 events during the month of March, and halfway through, more than half of them got canceled.
Beginning Wednesday, county leaders are now accepting applications for grants through the CARES Act. Residents who have lost work due to COVID-19 and are within the designated income range could receive up to $4,000.
You have to show that you were negatively impacted, you're suffering an economic hardship.
The grants can only be used for bills such as mortgages, utilities, car payments, or insurance. Documentation of a past due notice must be provided.
We had over 250 applications already submitted through the website. So certainly the need is there.
The stress levels are different than they are when you're busy. We were used to having a certain income, and that has been affected by this. It's pretty much been stopped.
Up to 10% of the money given to the county will eventually be relayed to cities for things like additional testing and more PPE. The county says those whose application is approved will receive the money in about 1 to 2 weeks. We've posted the full requirements to be eligible over on our website, WPTV.com. But for now, reporting in St. Lucie County, I'm Derek Lowe, WPTV News Channel 5.
Lastly, no launch date is set for SpaceX's next attempt to send Starlink internet satellites into orbit. Weather is forcing a scrub of yesterday's attempt from the Kennedy Space Center. The mission was originally supposed to blast off 2 weeks ago, but was delayed by weather and technical problems. Wednesday was the worst day in college sports since the worst day, March 12th, when COVID-19 shut everything down. Ohio State, which fields more varsity athletic teams than any school in the nation, paused voluntary workouts for 7 programs after an undisclosed number of positive COVID-19 tests, joining a growing list of schools to halt efforts to bring back sports. And Stanford, too, dropped this stunner. The preeminent all-sports athletic program in America is dropping 11 varsity programs after the 2020-2021 season ends. Our news time 6:26. Weather and traffic together are next.
6:27 the time of the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, to the north of us on the Turnpike, north and southbound in Fort Pierce at mile marker 172, some road construction. So the left lane is blocked up that way in both directions. Martin County, it's a nice ride, no accidents or slowdowns. There's your latest look at traffic. And it's 78 in Stuart, here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, very warm and humid with lots of sunshine and light winds. This afternoon, partly sunny with high temperatures in the low to mid 90s and the heat index in the low 100s. And we're going to be close to some record highs today. Winds will be light out of the southwest and rain chances are lower today, but a few showers and thunderstorms are possible this afternoon. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
6:30 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. Phil's here from Phil's Notebook, and of course Fredo and the Shy Guys, and Bentley, our concierge butler, is in the house. Phil, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well.
Excellent. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. And Fredo, band sounded good this morning. They've eaten breakfast.
Yeah, man, we're good. We're good to go.
How was breakfast? Tell me what was on the menu, if you would, please.
Hold on, let me come over to the microphone. You know what? It was good, very good. I'm talking about eggs were excellent. The muffins were good. The English muffins, but no bacon.
What?
No bacon. There was some sausage. It was turkey sausage, by the way.
Okay, that's all right.
But it was no bacon.
No bacon at all.
No bacon, man. None at all.
Hold on one second, please.
You rang, sir?
Yes, Bentley, I have a question to ask you. Fredo was just informing me that there is no bacon on the buffet this morning. Is there a reason why?
Yes, sir. All I could find was turkey bacon, and Fredo does not like turkey bacon, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you know what kind of bacon he likes. So I need you to get in your Bentley mobile and get to the closest store quickly, and please go find some bacon. Let me ask, Fredo, do you have a specific bacon you like? Do you like, I know you don't like turkey bacon. Do you like maple bacon?
Nah, man, just plain old bacon, man.
Okay.
Just plain old bacon. You know, get that Oscar Mayer or that Sizzling. Remember Sizzling? Sizzling was good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Bentley, would you please get in the Bentley mobile and just do me a favor. Give me a call when you get down to the store here in a little bit, and just check in and make sure that you have the right bacon in hand, because, you know, I like bacon. Miss Bonnie likes bacon, and we want to be able to partake in breakfast along with bacon, because, you know, we want to have our Aiken and eggs as well. Aiken and Beggs as well for breakfast.
And
right?
I think that the Smithfield bacon is on sale.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, I don't care about sale. I'm more concerned about just getting the darn bacon. That's all I want.
I need the bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. All right. So Bentley, skedaddle out of here if you would, please. All right.
Be my pleasure, sir.
Thank you very much. We'll talk to Bentley in a little bit. He's going to get out of here and go get in his vehicle and go find us some bacon.
It's going to
some real bacon. Yeah.
Real bacon. It's time for viral videos. I found a couple of viral videos this morning when I was in here. I like to have my quiet time in the morning when nobody's around, so I get here extra early so I could enjoy my breakfast, enjoy my quiet time, and surf the internet. And there's a little girl that was caught sneaking snacks, but the whole idea is when she's caught, she pretends that she's sleeping.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm gonna play the audio. Here we go.
Amala, put it back. You hear me?
This little girl's just
Open your
standing
eyes.
there.
I don't care that your eyes are closed. Put the snacks back in the cabinet, Amala.
She's just standing there with her eyes shut.
Oh, you sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you.
And then she breaks out laughing. Poor little girl.
She was sleepwalking getting those snacks.
Poor little girl. But that was just so cute.
You know, when you need a little bit of the Chips Ahoy cookies, though, or the Cheez-Its up in the bin, really, you know, you got to go in there and pretend like you were sleeping.
Now here's the question. Speaking of Chips Ahoy,
Yeah.
is it soft and chewy or the regular Chips Ahoy?
Oh, soft and chewy for me. Bonnie?
Regular. I like the crispiness.
Really?
Yeah.
Phil?
I like both, actually.
Do you
You're gonna
really?
laugh at that. but-
Hey,
yeah, I
Fredo-
like either or.
All
Yeah.
right. Fredo, what do you like?
Oh man, I like the crunchy, man. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Fredo's thinking like I am.
Yeah.
You got to have
Yeah,
that
that's
little
right, because I know what you like, Bonnie.
bit of crunchiness.
There he goes again. All right. So there's a parody
Oh,
of
boy.
Zoom CEO at their first board meeting since February. A YouTuber named Luke Moans did a parody where he pretends to be the CEO of Zoom, heading up their first board meeting since February, and he makes the CEO sound completely clueless. He admits that he had his money on Skype, wonders why they don't have fun filters like Instagram, and admits Zoom is a bad name. He closes it out by suggesting that they send a fruit basket to the scientists they paid to make the virus. So let's listen into this guy.
Good morning. I'll tell you what, I had my money on Skype. Can we do a little brainstorming session here? Does anyone know why we're doing so good? I mean, do we even have a website? I'll be honest with you, I thought we were still in beta. I'm a FaceTime guy. We're the #1 app in the world. What about Words with Friends? First of all, everyone's getting a raise. Second of all, didn't we think the name Zoom was bad? We don't even have any fun filters. You can't turn your face into a dragon while you're talking to people. Thank God we hired that social media intern, huh? Where is he? Craig! I think it would be nice if we said Skype or fruit basket, guys. I also think we should send a fruit basket to that scientist who we paid to make the virus.
Yeah. Okay. So that video is actually going very viral right now.
Yeah, you know, I heard of Skype much longer than I have of Zoom. A long time before Zoom, I think I heard of Zoom from you the first time.
Yeah, I've
Evan.
known about Skype for a long time. I've used Skype,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I prefer Zoom. I like the Zoom platform.
I
think it's
agree,
cleaner.
because for me, Skype is like cumbersome. It's like it's not. I don't know. Their interface is kind of weird. I don't get it. So
yeah, how do you get
that's
a bunch
just
of
me.
people on one Skype call too? I don't understand that.
Mhm.
Lastly, there's a flight attendant that is actually going viral with her video. We've seen videos of flight attendants trying to be funny while doing the announcement, but this guy working a Southwest flight out of Minneapolis had some really good stuff. Like this quote, "For those of you traveling with children this morning, why?" He says passengers with more than one child should select the one with best earning potential who can contribute toward their retirement and put the oxygen mask on that one first.
Wow.
Let's just listen to the whole thing. All right.
Insert 25 cents into the slot above your head for the first minute of Southwest oxygen. And guys, breathe normally. Last but certainly not least, for those of you traveling with children this morning. Why? I'm kidding. We like the kids. Or ladies, I saw a lot of you boarding. Maybe you got that needy little husband or boyfriend on your hands. Girls, you're the adults in the relationship, so secure your mask first and then give him a hand, bless his heart. If you're traveling with more than one child, select the child that has the best earning potential to contribute towards your retirement. Put the mask on that one first. Sit back, relax, enjoy your 59-minute flight to Chicago.
How about that one?
I love that. A flight
Right?
attendant with a little bit of humor, and maybe not for the easily offended. However,
Yeah.
that is very cool to
No.
kind of lighten the load for people on that flight a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree. I definitely would agree.
Evan, before you do go on, I saw a video this morning too that was very visual with
Visual?
the graphics, and it was actually a sad story but a heroic kind of story. This guy named Philip Blanche, he's an ex-college football player.
Mhm.
He came to the rescue.
Oh, I heard about this. I actually watched the video.
Did you see that?
Yes, I watched it.
Catching that infant baby in his arms, the
3
baby
stories up.
being tossed out of that
Wow.
window when
Yeah.
the building was on fire.
Yeah.
And it was so visual because you could just see that child's head and that whole body, just the length of that whole child, and with the visual of the child being in his arms.
Yeah. I mean, what a great catch the guy made from 3 stories up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think the mother made it out okay, but the child's life was saved.
That's right. And
Yeah.
I don't know the whole story, but I'm wondering if the mother was the one who had to toss her baby out the window. I didn't complete that story, but you're right. I think she did perish in that fire.
Yeah. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour today, we're going to have a very special guest. They're called Seventh Element. They're an a cappella group. They're made up of 6 guys. 4 of them are brothers, and 2 of them are lifelong friends. And they tour all around with inspirational type music. And they have a video recently that went viral of them doing the national anthem. And it's pretty impressive. Very, very impressive. I saw them on the news and I was like, man, I got to get these guys on. So I made contact with one of them who happens to be up in Orlando, Garth Green. And one of the guys on one of the local news channels from down here, he lives locally in West Palm Beach. So I've got them secured. They're going to zoom into our radio studio here just a little bit after 8 o'clock this morning. And we're going to speak with them and find out exactly how they got started in the business.
I heard a little snippet of them, Phil, that Evan played just a day or 2 ago. And boy, they are wonderful. They reminded me of that musical group. They harmonize right around Christmas time.
Yeah. In fact, here's just a little tease for everybody that's listening.
The world needs now is love, sweet love.
That's all I'm going to give you. Just a little tease. Just a little
that's
tease.
awesome.
I love teasing the audience.
Mhm.
So if you want to hear a little bit more, just tune in a little after 8 o'clock this morning. The Seventh Element, they're going to be joining us on the radio broadcast this morning. Did you guys know that 16% of us now claim that we've seen an alien? You
Yeah.
ever see Bonnie? You ever seen an alien before?
Jeez.
I don't think I've seen an alien.
No?
But yeah, no.
Okay.
I mean, I'm thinking of like a Martian type of thing with,
All right.
like the Martian kind of head and maybe the long dangling fingers that might be green.
Now,
and-
when you say Martian, I think of the show I used to watch when I was a child called My Favorite Martian with Bill Bixby.
I remember
Oh,
that.
yes.
It was
Yeah.
a little bit before my time, but
Yeah.
I remember of it.
See, I'm really dating myself
And
here.
Bill Bixby, did he play
Bill
the Martian?
Bixby. No.
Did he
No,
play the
he
Martian?
played the normal guy who was his Uncle Marvin or
Yeah,
Martian,
Martin,
actually.
Uncle
yeah.
Martin, Uncle Martin.
What a neat
Uncle
concept.
Martin, yeah.
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 And Uncle Martin played the Martian. He morphed into a Martian. So there's these antennas that like popped out of his head.
Yeah. Do you guys remember What's New, Mr. Magoo, too?
No.
Mr. Magoo, I know.
I know
Yeah.
Mr. Magoo, but not What's New, Mr. Magoo.
Didn't the show start out where he's like walking on a rooftop and he's just like walking along and they sing, "What's New, Mr. Magoo"?
No.
No.
Never heard of that. No.
Maybe it was like a coastal thing where maybe I had it in my region and you didn't.
It was
I
a
don't know.
Wisconsin
It
thing,
might have
maybe.
been.
Okay.
I don't know.
Did you know that according to a recent survey, 85% of people sing in the car, but 70% of people say they only do it when they're alone. So, Bonnie, are you one of those people that sings in the car?
Yeah, I do.
you?
Once
do you
in a
do
while.
it with people or without people in the car?
Oh, I can't do it with people, or they might
Why?
throw me out of the car.
It's more fun when you do it with people. Then you could have carpool
Sound like the cat
karaoke.
earlier, huh?
Yeah, you can have carpool karaoke.
Yeah. Do you guys do it? Do you all sing? Or?
Oh, I sing. I loud and
yeah.
I roll my
Yeah.
windows down. I'm screaming.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I'm in the band AC/DC. Yeah.
I just remember I was on Crosstown Boulevard the other day and I had stopped at a red light and I had a nice dosage of a young fella's music coming from his car.
Did you have a lot of bass? Was
a
it
lot of-
vibrating your windows?
A lot of bass,
It's all
and-
about the bass.
Yeah, it's all about that bass.
Yeah.
That bass.
No trouble.
Yeah, thank you. Did you know that the Canadian Medical Association says it's 300% more likely that cyclists who don't wear helmets will suffer a fatal head injury?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know. You could be like one of those cyclists that are not looking, and then you run and slam into a car door or
Yeah.
something, and go rolling over that bike, and the first thing you'll injure might be your head.
Did you know that folks who skip breakfast are more attracted to images of high calorie grub and consume 20% more calories on average at lunch than those who are eating in the morning? Wow.
Wow.
That's an interesting stat right there.
So, Fredo, aren't you glad that you're getting your early breakfast from Bentley now? Don't you
Oh
feel?
yeah, man. Oh yeah, Bonnie. I want to thank Evans for getting us some breakfast today. Yeah, because it was good. It was good, even though no bacon.
Okay.
It was good.
Don't tell Fredo anything, Bonnie, but part of that breakfast, the proceeds are coming out of the guy's paychecks.
Oh,
I couldn't afford all that
Wait.
myself.
What was that?
I didn't say anything.
But now-
did you know, according to
Yeah.
Parents Magazine, parents spend anywhere between 10 to 40 hours a week driving kids around?
Mm-hmm.
Driving kids around. And
Mhm.
lastly, you probably have 150 TV channels at home, but you only ever watch about 15 of them.
Yeah.
And that's actually true.
It
I think
is.
we have
Yeah,
like
that doesn't
three,
surprise
I
me.
think we have like 300 channels on DirecTV, and I think I only watch like maybe 10.
Yeah. And
I watch 5. I watch channel 12, channel 25, channel 29. I watch 34. I
What's
watch
34?
67. Hold on, let me finish. 34 is a local channel, the CW channel. I watch 34, 67. That's 6 of them. I watch 202, which is CNN. I watch 206, which is ESPN. I watch 213, which is MLB. And I watch 360, which is Fox News. And then the 11th channel I watch is 242, which is the USA Network. So that's 11 channels I watch.
yeah, and you know what? I bet they're keeping record of that too, because you know what our last cable company did that we dropped immediately? What they go and do is they took away all of our favorite channels. The ones like you did a rundown, the ones that we had been watching, and then they jacked up the price of our cable bill.
Who was it? Go ahead.
I don't know.
Go ahead. Go ahead. We're in a bitch forum. Why not?
The doubles. The double C one.
Oh.
It reminds. It rhymes with bombast.
Oh, Comcast. Okay. Well, now they're
Oh, you mean
Xfinity.
Xfinity.
They're Xfinity.
Yeah, but
they're
that
Xfinity.
had been the one.
Now, see, I play the two against each other
Oh,
all the time.
oh, do you?
Oh, all the time. Because I'll call up one and I'll call up the other, and whoever can give me the better deal, that's who I go with. So right now I'm with DirecTV. So I'm content with DirecTV, but now my contract is coming up with DirecTV.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go to Comcast where I have my internet, and I'm going to say, hey, what can you offer me? And what can you give me? So I'll play one against the other, and wherever I get the best deal, that's where I'm going.
It was nice
There
when
you
you
go.
can get a live operator to help you.
Yeah,
with
they're not
such
they're not
matter.
out of the country. 647. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. A Treasure Coast woman says for the second time she's being locked out of accessing her account with the state's unemployment system and cannot collect benefits. WPTV's Matt Chesney has the story.
Locked. And that's what it says. It's locked.
Elizabeth Bunakis of Stewart has had no way to access her unemployment benefit account for over a month now.
Apparently because whoever keyed in my name from my paper application misspelled my name.
It was a problem Elizabeth says she thought was fixed in May, but weeks later, the identity issue popped up again, cutting her off.
That's what we're still getting back to.
So we reached out to the experts, the local DJs turned unemployment troubleshooters, and got this surprising answer that it may be about the first digit of a social security number.
One thing I found is about 95% of the people that are locked out of their account are from out of state. They weren't born in the state of Florida.
Really?
And that's what I tell. I can tell by the social. Whenever a social has a zero in front of it,
right.
Most of the time, a zero means New York.
Elizabeth has a zero. Her zero is from Massachusetts. And zero is exactly where she's getting with DEO, both on the phone and online.
I've sent them 2 or 3 times my driver's license and social security number to the special identity email, and with a note, please unlock.
We did send an email to DEO about unlocking Elizabeth's account. So far, the only reply we've gotten is that they will look into it. In Stewart, Matt Chesney, WPTV, News Channel 5.
A special nonprofit called Chasing a Dream works to lighten the load of local families who have children battling life-threatening illnesses. WPTV's Erica Racco has the details.
This begins with Lori Griffiths. She is a force to be reckoned with, just a good soul who truly epitomizes inspiring. A former nurse, she started Chasing a Dream to help with needs that slip through the cracks for children battling cancer, heart disease, and other life-threatening illnesses. She stops at nothing for them, and that's exactly why members of Admirals Cove and Jupiter just chose to give this nonprofit $15,000. Ariel Wallace's mom, 2 times, to Grayson and Skylie. They're her world, which was rocked when 4-year-old Grayson became one of 60 people in the world diagnosed with a blood disease called hypereosinophilic syndrome.
I have no idea how he got it. He was never sick before. I mean, he's never had a high fever before this. He never had an emergency room trip. He never had a fall.
Life's been filled with a lot of anxiety. Throw in coronavirus and it's magnified. But bring in Lori and Chasing a Dream and you'll find hope.
I was kind of like spiraling out of control because I didn't know how to cope with it. And she just kind of like swooped in. She became like the friend, the helper in so many ways, and kind of just grounded my feet.
Help with basic needs, but more than that, emotional support is what you find in Lori. Locals helping locals is what she says it's all about. And this, money from the Admirals Cove Foundation, is just that, going from the Jupiter members right to Palm Beach and Martin County families.
The members heard the stories of the families and they were seeing everything that they were doing. And when COVID-19 came around, they knew that they were in more need than they were previously. And they really felt the need to go and step up and go and assist these families.
They need to be focused on taking care of their children and saving their children's lives. They don't have to be worried about paying their rent or putting food on the table. And food has become a major issue of what we're helping people with as well.
Grayson's fight continues on, but this money will also help another local warrior who just passed away from complications after open heart surgery.
Her family will now get to give her a proper goodbye.
That's another part of what we do. It's the horrible part of what we do. We have a program called Forever Faith.
This story on Chasing a Dream and Lori, it actually originated with Jay Lisa. We were really looking forward to meeting her and introducing her to you after so many of our neighbors filled her with inspiration, answering Lori's call for cards to be sent to her before that big surgery. She got them, she opened them with a smile, but sadly, she passed away last week after being readmitted to the hospital. There are so many ways, big and small, that you can help children like her in our neighborhoods. Just click on this story on WPTV.com.
Wednesday was the worst day in college sports since the worst day of when COVID-19 shut everything down. Now, Ohio State, which fields more varsity athletic teams than any school in the nation, paused voluntary workouts for 7 programs after an undisclosed number of positive COVID-19 tests, joining a growing list of schools to halt efforts to bring back sports. Almost everyone will be eliminating sports. Absolutely everyone will be slashing budgets, scholarships, educational opportunities, and jobs will all disappear in large numbers. News Time 6:52 weather and traffic together are next.
.653 the time on the Get Up and Go show. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Turnpike northbound in Palm City at mile marker 134, some road construction, so the right lane is blocked in that area. No accidents. There's your latest look at traffic. Port St. Lucie 77. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, very warm and humid with lots of sunshine and light winds. This afternoon, partly sunny with high temperatures in the low to mid 90s and the heat index in the low 100s. And we're going to be close to some record highs today. Winds will be light out of the southwest and rain chances are lower today, but a few showers and thunderstorms are possible this afternoon. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
Coming up on the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking to Joe Catcherbone from the St. Lucie Martin Chamber of Commerce and get an update on what's going on in the chamber, Bonnie.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be exciting to hear from Joe and his updates. We're hoping that we're going to hear of maybe new businesses too joining the Chamber of
Yeah,
Commerce.
most definitely. So I really enjoy when he brings us those business names that open up.
And it's
join up.
It's always nice hearing that economically. It's nice hearing that they sign up and that they're getting new signages.
Yeah. Hey, Phil, did you get any breakfast this morning, by the way, from the buffet?
No, because I'm not in the station.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You're like 40 miles away.
Maybe Bentley will have to make the drive.
Yeah, I'll have Bentley get something. I'll call him up on the phone. When he calls me, I'll tell him to bring you something. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. Here's the news.
On air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected to the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
Morning. Wakey. Sorry, that's how I wake up.
You're stressed out. I'm more than stressed out. I'm freaked out.
I'm sorry, it's been a long week.
Get ready to taste some sweet ear candy. It's terribly loud.
If it's too loud, you're too old.
Mental note, rethink career in broadcasting.
Don't hit me with them negative waves so early in the morning.
Come on, it's showtime.
It's showtime.
Time for the early morning show and time to get up and rise, everyone.
Yeah. Time to rise and shine, without a doubt. Have to rise and shine, because if you don't rise and shine, you're not productive. I rise and shine at 3:15, 3:30 every day.
That's really, really early. How do you do it?
I roll out of bed. I put the left foot in front of the right foot in front of the left foot, and hope to God I don't miss the bowl.
Wow. If I got up...
Yeah, I hate that in the morning. Yeah.
You don't want to put the light on, because you don't want to wake anybody. So you kind of go by instinct and sound. It's a guy thing.
You go by touch too. Don't you touch the walls and everything? And
no,
with your hands and touching around.
I don't touch anything.
But boy, if I could get up at 3, I could do my early morning run before I come here.
See, there you go.
I could only get myself to wake up at 3 a.m.
You can get business done.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I sure could.
You could definitely get business done. You could run, you could have fun, and then you can go lay in the sun.
It's really amazing what you can get done in an hour when you really think about it.
Yeah.
You ever be like you're just like pressed for time and you're thinking, oh gosh, I only have an hour to do this.
I'm always pressed for time.
But it's like the
nonstop.
Things you can get done in one solid hour are phenomenal.
See, we as guys, we have a little harder. We have it a little harder than you as women do in the morning.
You do,
especially that early in the morning. I'll tell you why.
I think so.
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Pertaining to the private office. Oh. See, in the morning when we get up, we don't like to blast the light on because we don't want to wake our significant others.
Yeah.
And it's also, when you go into the bathroom and you shut the door, you don't want to blast the light on because it's just going to blind you. So when you have to do your business, see, women have it easy. All they got to do is just sit down. there's no aim needed.
Well,
think about that.
I like to blast that light on because it really wakes me up.
Okay, well, you could blast the light on, but I mean, in theory, if you don't want to put the light on, you don't have to. You don't have to take aim.
I would say
like a scope on a rifle.
I would suggest you turn that light on.
With us, it's what do they call it? Hit or miss.
Maybe you should have a little laser on there then.
Well, I'm not putting a laser on it.
Like a laser pointer, yeah.
No, I'm not putting a laser on it. No. That's just weird. No.
Like a scope.
Yeah, I'm not putting a laser on my thing.
Maybe your wife could put a big sign on it, and
we're not hanging the sign.
And the arrow would be in.
No,
the arrow
putting a sign on it.
Would be.
I don't want to advertise it.
With the arrow pointing down exactly,
Yeah, look here.
Where to roll it and where to throw it.
Roll it, where to throw it.
Oh. Boy.
Bonnie's on fire.
I've heard enough. Roll it, throw it. Oh boy, I've heard it all. Yeah. Oh boy. All right. It's time for birthdays, anniversaries, and back in the day. And Bonnie, do you have anything?
Happy birthday to my lovely friend Ryan in Port St. Lucie. And
okay.
I attended the Port St. Lucie Beauty Academy with her and finished massage with this young, lovely lady.
Oh, okay.
And no, we can't call her because she has young uns. She
young
has
uns?
Little ones, and I don't want to bother her this early.
So that means she would be up at the crack of dawn if she's got youngins.
She might, but I think she has her handful with breakfast and everything already. And,
well, if she was here, she wouldn't get any bacon.
No bacon here. No.
Bentley, I'm still waiting to hear from Bentley to find out what the heck's going on. He's been gone an awful long time, so I hope he didn't get lost.
If he's listening, he could bring us back to some of that chorizo sausage.
Yeah.
it always
The white sausage?
chorizo.
What's that?
I have no idea.
It is a Spanish Mexican, very spicy kind of sausage, and you can find it in your local.
Do you like your
grocery
sausage hot and
stores.
spicy?
I do sometime.
Okay.
Yeah, once in a while, and that's kind of like what chorizo is. I've gotten the tacos.
Is it flat patties or are they the thick links?
You can get them both. In fact, I saw the thick links at the grocery store the other day. They're a little higher priced. You can get them in patties, and
All right.
you can also
There
get
you
it
go.
ground up.
So which way
Now,
do
you
you
like the
prefer
bi-
your sausage?
I like those links. I like the links.
You like them thick?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you
All
like
right, very
you like
good.
the big ones or the small sausage?
The I don't know, just kind of like a medium.
All right, very good.
I don't.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
All
I don't need to overdouse in sausage,
All right, very
but I like to
good.
dip it in my egg.
Okay.
Do you like to dip it in the egg and like
I don't
your
like
egg yolk?
to dip my sausage.
Or you're one of those people that you can't have your food touching one another.
No, my food
So-
can touch anything. As far as I'm concerned. They can touch the eggs, can touch the home fries. The home fries can touch
And the sausage.
Yeah.
Just make it into like one big skillet, and just that's good. It's good. It's good. I made Jack Frosty an egg the other morning. Yeah, he loves it, man. Oh man, he'll come if I'm making an egg in the kitchen. He'll smell that thing. He'll come in there, and just like then I have to make him an egg. I let it cool off, and I cut it. I chop it all up, and he eats that thing. He does. And then he goes, lays on his bed, and he just relaxes, and he's all content. I think we need a cat calling.
Yeah.
We need a cat call.
I think we need a call from the cat. I sure hope that Bentley calls in soon. Man, I'm wondering if you got lost. I really am. Oh, let me get my composure here. George Henley's 25 years old today. Mitchell Musso is 29. Kylie, oh boy, here we go. The phone's ringing. Kylie Williams is 34 years old today. That's from the Cheetah Girls. Fred Savage is 44 years old today. Jack White is 45. Scott Grimes, the Heisman, is 49. That's Hellsman on Gordon Malloy. Courtney Love is 56.
She's 56
Yeah,
today.
56 years old today.
Wow.
Jim Kerr is 61 from Simple Minds. He's the singer. Hi, you're on the air with Evan and Bonnie. Who's this?
Hello, sir. I have the bacon. I'm on my way back.
Oh, he found the bacon. Okay, now before you leave, what kind of bacon did you get?
I got the Oscar Mayer per request from Fredo.
Okay, very good. Very, very good. Bonnie, is there anything you would like Bentley to pick up at the store before he gets back here?
I was going to mention
besides sausage.
chorizo, but with the bacon, I think Bentley will be very pleased,
All right.
especially since
you don't
it's,
need any thick sausage.
Those thick sausage cuts.
Yes.
Oh no, I got it confused with the thick bacon. Sometimes you can get the thick bacon cuts. Medium sausage would be nice.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, very good.
We're not overeating over here.
We'll see you back here very shortly, Bentley.
Be my pleasure, sir.
Thank you. All right. Well, at least we know he finally got the the bacon for Fredo. Fredo, are you happy now? We've located bacon for you.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. Get
All
me
right.
some thick bacon and some thick sausage.
Okay, all right. Let's see here. Kevin Nash, 61 years old today. That's professional wrestler turned actor, otherwise known as Big Sexy. Kelly McGillis is 63 years old today. That's Tom Cruise's flight instructor in Top Gun.
Did you guys like that movie, Top
Gun was very good. I did. I
Yeah.
definitely liked it.
Great movie. Great.
Yeah.
There's a sequel coming out too.
Yeah.
Really? Is it going
Yes.
to be called Bottom Gun?
Ew.
Yeah. All right. I'd put my eyeglasses back on. John Tesh, 68 years old today. Wow.
Oh, I love John Tesh.
Wow.
I really do.
Yeah, he's really good.
He has like a radio program with, he gives nice messages and
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's a real inspirational program.
Love songs. He pretty much he plays love songs and stuff like that.
O.J.
Yeah, it's,
Simpson, the Juice, 73 years old. How about that one?
OJ is 73 today.
Yeah. How long has it been since the Bronco chase? Do you guys remember how long it's been?
What year was that? Like 19.
It was in the 90s, definitely. I can tell you that much because I remember exactly where I was when that happened.
Yeah.
Where were you?
I was actually picking up my girlfriend on a date when I in Lantana, and I was in her house, and it came up on the news, and of course you're sitting there watching it.
I think it was 94, Phil.
All right.
Like 94.
Does the name Richard Roundtree ring a bell to any of you?
It's familiar.
78 years old today. That's Shaft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shaft. Shaft. James Hampton, 84 years old today. Love American Style superstar who played Michael J. Fox's dad in Teen Wolf and also Trooper Hannibal Dobbs on F Troop. Brian Dennehy, celebrating a birthday in the sky along with Bon Scott. He was AC/DC's chauffeur. So why would they put a chauffeur in here for a famous birthday?
Because he started off as their chauffeur. Then they found that he was so amazing on those screaming kind of AC/DC vocals. And how old would have Bon Scott been today?
I don't. Let me see. 46, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 80. I'm doing the math. 40.
I think he died of some alcohol poisoning, didn't he? After like a night of partying.
He was like 34 years old.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like I did like Brian Johnson, the lead singer too of AC/DC for a very long time.
Right.
And
AC/DC.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rock band AC/DC.
Yes.
You know who that is?
Yes, of course I do.
Okay, I just want to make sure. You sounded
Can we
confused.
see how many hits they had while I'm here?
Yeah, go ahead. Open your little book there.
Yeah.
Tell me how many hits they had. Please do. Love to know.
You want to guess or no?
I'll say 12. I'm just gonna guess.
That sounds like a pretty good guess with that.
Really, 12?
Less.
I don't know. I'm always into the whole baker's dozen thing, so why
No,
not?
that less than 12.
Oh, okay. How many did they have?
They had 3 top 40 hits.
Oh my,
And
that's
I bet
not
I
that much.
can name them. Maybe
Go ahead.
You Shook Me All Night Long,
Yes.
Back in Black,
Yes.
and Who Made Who?
No.
All right, I'm gonna guess
Oh.
the other one. Thunderstruck.
No.
Oh wow.
You would think that would have
It
been
was 1991. I'll give you the year.
1991. Let's see. You Shook Me All Night Long. Back in Black. Oh, Hell's Bells.
No.
No.
Oh, it wasn't.
wow.
It wasn't Hell's Bells
No.
either.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Wow, I'm confused.
Let me see if I can still guess this one or find out this one.
Well, You Shook Me All Night Long wasn't as big as a hit as
Highway to Hell.
No.
No. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
No.
You got to be kidding me. How about a Whole Lot of Rosie?
No.
Shoot to Thrill.
No.
TNT. No, you're saying no. That was 1975. You're saying 1991.
Yeah,
1991.
I'm going like way old with some of these. Okay.
Their hit, You Shook Me All Night Long was 1980. Back in Black was 1981. Their last hit in 1991 was Money Talks.
Oh,
Money Talks.
I forgot all about that one.
I never heard of that
number
one.
23 on the top 40 chart.
Oh,
Yep.
I've never heard of that one.
I think that one came out after Who Made Who, because I think we were listening to Who Made Who like in 1987.
No, who's on first?
Here we go. You Shook Me All Night Long wasn't as big as a hit as we thought it was. It only went as high as number 35 on the top 40 chart.
Really?
Yeah, and it
Wow.
seemed like it was one of those that was the most played and the most listened to.
Money Talks actually did better. It went high as number 23.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, and that was the year 1991, right?
Very interesting.
Yeah, I remember hearing that one like all the time.
Interesting facts. 7:21. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk. Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning to you, Evan. Governor Ron DeSantis was on the Rush Limbaugh show yesterday defending his decision to order Florida's public schools to reopen at least 5 days a week next month.
You want society to function. Shutting down is not going to help things. It creates all kind of other problems, and we got to keep society going. And then you obviously could take appropriate precautions within the context of the economy being running, schools, all that.
The governor says they have the necessary protocols in place to keep students and teachers and school staff safe. New help could be on the way for some St. Lucie County residents who are suffering economically from COVID-19, and WPTV's Derek Lowe has more.
County leaders say they've received nearly $14 million in state funding to help with COVID-related expenses, and then more could be on the way very soon.
Anything will help.
Amber Gilbert is just one of several St. Lucie County residents who has been economically impacted by COVID-19.
Basically, we had about 43 events during the month of March, and halfway through, more than half of them got canceled.
Beginning Wednesday, county leaders are now accepting applications for grants through the CARES Act. Residents who have lost work due to COVID-19 and are within the designated income range could receive up to $4,000.
You have to show that you were negatively impacted, you're suffering an economic hardship.
The grants can only be used for bills such as mortgages, utilities, car payments, or insurance. Documentation of a past due notice must be provided.
We had over 250 applications already submitted through the website. So certainly the need is there.
The stress levels are different than they are when you're busy. We were used to having a certain income, and that has been affected by this. It's pretty much been stopped.
Up to 10% of the money given to the county will eventually be relayed to cities for things like additional testing and more PPE. The county says those whose application is approved will receive the money in about 1 to 2 weeks. We posted the full requirements to be eligible over on our website, WPTV.com. But for now, reporting in St. Lucie County, I'm Derek Lowe, WPTV News Channel 5.
The city of Port St. Lucie will host a listening forum on July 16th. WPTV's Yanni Rodriguez has more.
George Floyd's death has been the catalyst for nationwide protests for racial justice, and Port St. Lucie wants to be a part of that solution. The city's Forum on Race Relations and Inclusion is hosting a listening session on July 16th, and they're asking people in the community to listen and share their concerns as the city works to maintain its promise of being a place for all people.
Lastly, a Florida father and his 3 sons sold a product they touted as a cure for COVID-19, but was actually toxic bleach, federal prosecutors said Wednesday. Mark Grennan, 62, and his sons Jonathan Grennan and Joseph Grennan and Jordan Grennan, all of Bradenton, have been charged with conspiracy to defraud, conspiracy to violate the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, and criminal contempt. Wednesday was the worst day in college sports since the worst day on March 12 when COVID-19 shut everything down. Ohio State, which fields more varsity athletic teams than any school in the nation, paused voluntary workouts for 7 programs after an undisclosed number of positive COVID-19 tests joined a growing list of schools to halt efforts to bring back sports. And Stanford, too, dropped this stunner. The preeminent all-sports athletic program in America is dropping 11 varsity programs after the 2020-21 season ends. Our news time is 7:25. Weather and traffic together are next.
$7:26 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. All brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
No accidents to report right now. Just keep in mind on the Turnpike northbound at mile marker 134 Palm City, the right lane is blocked. There's road construction in that area. There's your latest look at traffic. And right now in Port St. Lucie, it's 77. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, very warm and humid with lots of sunshine and light winds. This afternoon, partly sunny with high temperatures in the low to mid 90s and the heat index in the low 100s. And we're going to be close to some record highs today. Winds will be light out of the southwest and rain chances are lower today, but a few showers and thunderstorms are possible this afternoon. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
The Get Up and Go Show would love to hear from you live on the air. Give us a call at any time. Now let's get back to the program. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Time for our weekly visit with the Stuart Martin Chamber of Commerce. The guy that heads it up all, Joe Cachabone, is joining us right now on our line. Joe, good morning. Top of the morning to you on a Thursday. How are you and your staff doing over there?
Good morning, Evan and Bonnie. We're doing great. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. What's the latest out of the chamber? What's going on as of lately? What's been happening this last week?
Well, we had a good week for membership. I'll tell you that in a minute if you don't mind.
No. In fact, we'll get the new members' names out on the air too as well.
That's great. We had a meeting yesterday. You know, we have a leadership program. It's our 30th year, and met with Cindy LeConte, who's our coordinator, and Tim Kinane, who's been involved with the program since the beginning. And so, unfortunately, we've extended deadline. We normally get the program started in September, but we're right now don't know whether we're going to have a class or not. We don't want to diminish the the class. We can't. It's not the type of program where you sit in a classroom one day a month for 9 months. You know, we get in buses and we take them to the jail, and we take them to hospitals, and we take them to schools, and we take them to Indian Town to see the inner workings of how the county works. And so, if we're going to be practicing social distancing, and I just don't want. We don't want the class to diminish in its quality. So we've extended it till August 30th. We'll make a decision then as to whether we're going to continue. And of course, if we do, we'll start the program in October, and it normally starts in August. So that's kind of one of the things we're dealing with right now, amongst a lot of other things. I'm not sure how the new face mask ordinance is going to affect anything. I don't think it really will. While it's a mandate, it's still pretty liberal. For instance, Barb and I went out to dinner last night. We went up to the Palm City Grill, and we sat at a high top and wore masks in. Once you get in, you have to take the mask off, and if you leave your table, you put to go to the restroom or whatever, you have to put the mask back on again. So it's nothing that's earth-shattering, I would say, but it's just another, for a lot of people, including me, an inconvenience. So, but we have to deal with it. We have to deal with it until August 8th. And listen, if it lowers the number of cases we see, then kudos.
Let me ask you a question, Joe. And this is just coming from you personally. You said something that I was curious, and I just wanted to get your take on it. Why, to you personally, is it an inconvenience, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't. If the biggest thing is, I'll give you an example. If it's an inconvenience,
okay.
I went to Publix yesterday.
Right.
Was halfway in the store and went back because I forgot my mask in the car.
Okay.
Went to Home Depot, got in the store.
Same thing.
Went back. Right.
Yeah. And I've done that. I've actually walked to the door and I've forgotten it. So yeah, I can understand where it does become a little bit of an inconvenience. I do see that.
Yeah. But it's not. I mean, I think it's probably more than anything is, we abide by and live within the rules and try to be good citizens and do everything that's right. And this is just another layer that we have to adhere to. So it really isn't that big a deal. I think it's mostly more of it a mental state.
Right.
Than anything else, saying, don't tell me what to do. I have enough things I've got to. So don't. So I think it's probably that more than anything.
And the way that I'm sorry, Joe.
No, go ahead.
Didn't mean to interrupt. The way that Taryn had described it to us yesterday, it's not going to hinder me from not going to a restaurant. It sounds pretty doable, just putting the mask on and going to my table, then you can take it off right there and, then have the mask on when done eating and on the way out. Sounds pretty quick with it. So it wouldn't keep me away. Yep.
I think people like Barb and I, I think we're really on the fringe. Like, for instance, we've been going to the grill for years, and we know all the customers, the diners, and of course we know the staff and everything. And some people that we have seen go there for years, we haven't seen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So there's still that, and it's probably larger than I give credit to, but there's still that segment of the community that's saying, "Hey, I'm not going. I'm just not doing it."
And after a while, if you see those people you haven't seen in a long time, that's where the mask, I think, should be excluded, because you can't see their friendly faces and their smiles.
You can't give them a big hug and kiss.
Yeah.
We can't anymore. That's for sure.
I definitely agree with you on that part. So
I have to say this though. Before the meeting, not this past meeting, the one before, where it was so contentious. The last one was too, but where they stayed till 10 o'clock at night and they had all those emails, and the overwhelming majority of people that went there, a lot of them were actually rude, and the way they talked to the commissioners and threatened them and called them all kinds of names. I took a survey, and I think I may have mentioned this. We took a survey of our board members and our trustees before that meeting, so that if our members said, "Hey, we're opposed to this," and we as a chamber would go to that meeting and say, "Listen, we took a survey, and 80% of our members that were surveyed agreed that everyone should wear a mask." Well, 80% came back and said, 80% come back and said we should wear a mask. I was thinking it was going to be the other way. 80% would say no mask, but 80% of our respondents said, yes, we think masks are appropriate.
Yeah,
and I did share that with the commissioners.
And
I shared that with them. So it was surprised me. So like I said, I think that people with my mindset are maybe probably on the fringe.
The one thing I do get is the lady that I did hear on the news yesterday stating that her husband had some health conditions, and with breathing, and with that aspect, I would get, it's like if I had asthma or maybe some sort of a breathing problem, something underlying going on already, especially in this hot Florida heat, it's just like, are you always going to be expected to wear that mask? And I think that woman's point of view, when I heard yesterday, I could understand. But there's like a line too where I respect the people that want to wear the masks and want us to stay safe. So there's kind of like a fine line there with everything going on lately.
Yeah, I mean, I have no objection whatsoever to anyone wearing a mask. I think it's great. If you feel comfortable and you feel that's necessary for your own protection, certainly do it. I just don't like to be told I need to. And quite frankly, in my opinion, and from what I've read and heard, me wearing a mask doesn't protect me. It protects you. And that's okay. It protects you from me sneezing or coughing or spitting particles on you. But so far as me, I think they've already proven that a mask isn't going to prevent you from getting the virus.
Mm-hmm. We're practicing social distancing here too. Even I respected Evan this morning.
Yeah, I kind of freaked out a little bit because I was like, we've been working together 5 days a week. She's my work wife. And, she came up, I wanted to show her something on my computer, and she came from behind me and she says, "Don't worry, I won't get too close." I'm like, "Too close? What are you talking about?" Because, I didn't even think about, the whole social distancing thing. And it just, and that was, that's respect. And I give, my hat is off to Bonnie for that.
Well,
definitely.
Thank you, Evan. Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't even think twice. I honestly, I didn't think twice. I mean, you could have looked over my shoulder. I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had several meetings, a couple of meetings here yesterday. And it's the same thing with like you say, Bonnie's your work wife. I mean, I spend more time probably with my staff than I do with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're together 7-8 hours a day. we're wearing masks, and we had a couple of meetings yesterday, and everybody wore masks, and it's just so unnatural to me.
We should ask Governor DeSantis for that four-day work week now, shouldn't we? So
no, don't say that. Then we lose a day of radio.
Yes.
I don't want to lose a day of radio. My God. No,
Yeah.
definitely not. So, Joe, what's the latest that's been going on? Let's talk business now, if we could. What's the latest that's been going on at the chamber? You mentioned that you've got some new businesses this week.
Yeah, we did, and it's funny how it goes. I mean, we went months without a new business, and same thing with renewals. I think I spoke to you last week. We didn't send out any renewals for the months of March, April, and May, and we did finally. We sent out for June and got 68 renewals in June. So,
wow.
So things are that's not. I mean, 68 is probably a half of what we would normally get, but that's okay. We got the point is that we did get 68. We have, I think, 5 new members so far this week. Financial Capital Resources, and basically they're not a bank, and they basically said they're here to help out with short-term or long-term, but specifically short-term loans that for people who coming out of this thing. It's tough. It's been tough financially, obviously, for all of us going through this. But when we come out of it, we're going to need cash flow. So you have to do things to get your business back in order. And so these people are offering short-term or long-term loans, but mostly they're there to help people when they're coming out of the funk that we're in to get back on their feet again. Then we have Keller Williams of Treasure Coast, Alexandra Alvarez. She's an agent and resident. She does residential investment properties in Palm City. Then we had a law group of South Florida join, Pito del Toro. And interesting, his wife Danielle del Toro is a marketing person.
Right.
Her husband is chief of police in
of course.
Lucy.
I know him very, very well, actually.
Yeah. So we welcome them, of course, as we do all new members. Kirby Employee Benefits is another one. They basically do employee leasing, and they provide workers' compensation and basically all HR aspects of your business they provide, which is that's trend. People are going that way. We do it, as a matter of fact, here at the chamber. And then New York Life, agent by the name of James Gilby, they joined, and he's specializing in retirement planning and profit sharing. So he kind of specializes. He's not just a life insurance agent. So we're pleased that we got these new members, and of course, one of the things that we always tout is that we'll put you together and give you the opportunity to get new clients because of our networking. So, we're kind of limited on our networking functions right now, although I think I mentioned last week, we do have 4 planned for July. The 15th, we have a luncheon at the Hutchins Island Marriott Beach Resort out on the island. Then the next morning, we've got Morning Joe here at the chamber. That will be live with City Manager David Diaz. Will, I'm sure, give us an update on what's going on with the bridge, mostly the southbound lane of the bridge. And on the 22nd, this is really will be our first business after hours we had since February.
Wow.
And business after hours is a cocktail party with all the herbs and things of that nature. So again, it's at Coquina Cove, Martin Downs, Palm City, and we'll be following their protocol and the CDC protocol and whatever protocol is set up. So that's going to be interesting to see how that gets back into the swing of things. And then on the 28th, we have a breakfast here at the chamber, sponsored by Vitus Healthcare. And then the next day, we've got a local government and transportation committee meeting. I think that's probably going to be Zoom because we usually get about 30 people for that. and 30 people in our conference room, while it's not by any means overcrowded, it would be difficult for us to maintain the social distancing with 30 or 35 people in there.
Right.
So we're getting back into the swing of things. You know, this. I think a lot of people felt this mandate by the commission is a little bit of a setback, but when you really read into it, it really isn't that drastic or that much different than we've been doing. So again, it'll be interesting. I really hope that it helps and keeps the spread of the virus going any further than it has. Interesting thing, I had somebody ask me yesterday.
What's that, Joe?
There's when you have a carry permit to carry a firearm,
Right. Concealed carry permit.
right? It clearly states that you should not and cannot carry a firearm while wearing a mask.
Oh.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
So-
Now, where is that? Because I'm going to have to look into that because I'm a concealed carry permit holder.
So am I. So, but you can look it up. But
All right.
anyway, I called the sheriff and I called David Deese, the city manager, who you know is former chief of police.
Right.
Anyway, they verified that you can carry with a permit with a face mask on.
Okay.
But the question came up because it think about it. You know, before this thing, can you imagine walking into a bank with a mask on?
Yeah, I know.
Where's
And
the-
you're packing heat inside
Yeah.
your waistband. And you know, who deciphers if you're robbing the bank or if you're just going in to make a deposit?
Exactly.
Yeah, that can be deadly.
Yeah.
Definitely so. I wouldn't suggest doing it. Leave your weapon locked in your vehicle if you have to go into the bank. Definitely so.
Yeah, that's a very good suggestion. I agree with you.
Joe, people want to reach you to join the chamber. Give out some information. We got to
Sure,
get going here and
please.
do the news.
My phone number is 772-287-1088.
Okay.
My extension is 108.
All right, very good. That's Joe Catcherbone. He heads up the St. Lucie Martin County.
No, not St. Lucie.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Don't get
Stewart.
mad at
Stewart Martin County. The Stewart. The S is what caught me. It's the Stewart Martin County Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, because I know Teresa up in Port St. Lucie very well.
Happy.
No, Teresa would not be happy. I'll have to call her on the phone and apologize.
He
to
might
her.
have got it confused because you got a nice St. Lucie County membership lately, too. It sounded like.
Yeah.
So, but
Anyway,
we congratulate you.
it's Stewart Martin County Chamber of Commerce. Give my good buddy Joe a call. Joe, give out the number one more time.
You're 772-287-1088, extension 108, or you can go to our website, www.stewartmartinchamber.org.
All right, very good. Joe, thanks for joining us this
Thanks,
morning.
guys. Have a good
Appreciate it.
weekend.
Have a great day. 7:47 right now. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Governor Ron DeSantis was on the Rush Limbaugh show yesterday defending his decision to order Florida's public schools to reopen at least 5 days a week next month.
You want society to function. Shutting down is not going to help things. It creates all kind of other problems, and we got to keep society going. And then you obviously could take appropriate precautions within the context of the economy being running, schools, all that.
The governor says they have the necessary protocols in place to keep students and teachers and school staff safe. A Treasure Coast woman says for the second time she's being locked out of accessing her account with the state's unemployment system and cannot collect benefits. WPTV's Matt Chesney has the story.
Locked. And that's what it says. It's locked.
Elizabeth Bunakis of Stewart has had no way to access her unemployment benefit account for over a month now.
Apparently because whoever keyed in my name from my paper application misspelled my name.
It was a problem Elizabeth says she thought was fixed in May, but weeks later, the identity issue popped up again, cutting her off.
That's what we're still getting back to.
So we reached out to the experts, the local DJs turned unemployment troubleshooters, and got this surprising answer that it may be about the first digit of a social security number.
One thing I found is about 95% of the people that are locked out of their account are from out of state. They weren't born in the state of Florida.
Really?
And that's why I can tell by the social. Whenever a social has a zero in front of it,
right.
Most of the time a zero means New York.
Elizabeth has a zero. Her zero is from Massachusetts. And zero is exactly where she's getting with DEO, both on the phone and online.
I've sent them 2 or 3 times my driver's license and social security number to the special identity email, and with a note, please unlock.
We did send an email to DEO about unlocking Elizabeth's account. So far, the only reply we've gotten is that they will look into it. In Stewart, Matt Cesny, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Lastly, authorities say former Glee star Naya Rivera is missing and presumed dead after her 4-year-old son was found alone on a boat in a Southern California lake. According to investigators, her son said he had been swimming with his mother. He was able to climb back into the boat, but she never did. An adult life jacket was found on the boat. Rivera played Santana, a cheerleader in the musical comedy Glee that aired on Fox from 2009 until 2015. A new Florida sports rivalry is underway at ESPN's Wide World of Sports last night. Orlando City defeated Inter Miami 2-1 in the opening match of the Major League Soccer is Back tournament. Orlando plays again on Tuesday against NYCFC. Miami also plays that morning against the Chicago Fire. News time 7:50, weather and traffic together next.
$7:52 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, we don't have any traffic accidents to report right now. No tie-ups on the major highways, northbound and southbound, and US 1 is moving smoothly right now. And there's your latest look at traffic. It's 78 in Port St. Lucie, and here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, very warm and humid with lots of sunshine and light winds. This afternoon, partly sunny with high temperatures in the low to mid 90s and the heat index in the low 100s, and we're going to be close to some record highs today. Winds will be light out of the southwest, and rain chances are lower today, but a few showers and thunderstorms are possible this afternoon. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
You know, I was talking earlier, we're going to have some very, very special guests coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. I'm going to just give you guys just a little tease of this a cappella group. The name of the group is called the Seventh Element. And here's just a little snippet of what you're in for.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just.
I found them due to a news story that was on my local news station, how they redid the Star Spangled Banner. And we're going to play some of that also. But the entire group, 4 of them are brothers and 2 are very, very close friends. And they're going to be joining us in just a little bit on the program. So I'm really excited about that, Bonnie.
I am too. And our listeners can get ready. It's going to be music to our ears.
Yeah, they're checking in now. They're starting to check into our Zoom room.
Yeah.
So I can see that 2 of them are already there. They're in the waiting room, so to speak. I'll let them in when when we're ready to go. But Phil, that's going to be a really exciting interview.
I can't wait to hear it and talk to them myself. It's they sound great, and I think it's a lost art, that whole doo-wop acapella sound.
Yeah,
and it's good to see some young people doing taking that.
Right.
There's 6 members of the group, and one of them, the 7th member, is invisible. And the reason they say that is because that's the Lord up above. That's the 7th member.
That's very
That's the
nice.
invisible member. So I'm really, really excited. If you want to go check out their website, you can go look at their website now and do a little homework. It's www.seventhelement.com. www.seventhelement.com. That's 7, the number 7, element.com. Go check out their website. 4 brothers and 2 very, very close friends. We'll be speaking with them here in just a little bit. All right. So, real quick, I want to get Bentley in here just to make
sure.
Yes, Bentley. Thank you for bringing the bacon and getting that on the table so Fredo could have his bacon this morning. I greatly appreciate it.
It was my pleasure, sir.
Thank you
I
much.
also got the sausage from his buddy.
Yes, and Fredo, is the bacon okay? Did he cook it perfection for you?
Yeah, man, it's nice and juicy and salty, man. It's great.
All right, very good, very good. We're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. We are going to step back and take a pause for the cause. The news is coming up next, and then the a cappella group 7th Element is going to be joining us on the program.
On air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected to the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed?
What you're listening to is something that's unbelievable that I came across the other day on the internet as I was scouring around. I came across these guys. They're called Seventh Element is what they're called. And let me just read a little bit about them. They're a group of 6 gentlemen. There's 4 of them that are brothers and 2 of them that are very close friends. Seventh Element's slogan, it's all about the seventh element, says it all. These 6 gentlemen have accomplished much in their own right, but it's the 7th member, the unseen one, that is the focal point of the group's music. And they are joining us right now via Zoom. We have Mark Dwyer, who's the first tenor, Darren Green, the second tenor, Garth Green, the third tenor, Kurt Green, the fourth tenor, Kevin Green, the baritone, and Dean Dennis, the bass. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I've got everybody all at one time. This is amazing. I'm glad. And I'm going to kind of go around the board right now and start with Garth, who that is the one who I made contact with. Garth, thank you so much for setting this up. I really appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. Our pleasure.
So tell me how the group started, if you would, Garth. Who's the actual leader of the group? Is there a band leader, or everybody is together as one?
Well, we've been singing for a very long time. This particular group started way back. Darren, I think in 98. Darren is actually 99. Yeah. Darren is actually the one that pulled the strings together to get the group as you hear it, as you see it now, together. Previous to that, though, we've been doing music, way back since mid-70s.
Mid-70s, yeah.
Wow. So who is the actual founding member? Darren, are you the founding member?
I am. I guess you could say that, Evan. It was my idea to say, okay, we've been singing, for fun for many, many years. And at one point I said to myself, I'd really like to take this to the next level. And I reached out to my brothers. I reached out to Mark Dwyer. And of course, when we pulled Dean in, and we ended up, I said, hey, let's do this. Let's do this for real. And so we took that next step, and we produced a project in 2002. We got signed in 2002, and that's where that's taken us to where we are today. So
wow, blessed
and highly favored.
Now, let me ask Mark a question. Mark, how long have you been with the group, and what interested you in becoming part of this organization?
And that's a great question. Actually, from the very beginning, which was 1998, Darren, it was 98.
Okay.
Actually, I had moved down to Florida in 96. And as Garth had mentioned, Darren, Kurt, Garth, and Kevin, as brothers, they had sung a cappella music, group a cappella music from back when we were all children. And when I got to Florida, I actually had been signed to a previous group to Capitol Records back in 1991 and Epic Records in 94.
Okay.
But I had come to Florida because really it was just maturing. And I connected with Darren because at that point I was ready to kind of be a mentor and maybe try and help some younger groups, navigate through the complexities of the music industry. And Darren, being a professional and I'd known, I suggested to him, hey, let's start kind of a mentoring group and maybe we can help some young groups get started. And Darren said, no, Mark, we still want to sing. So we got together, my father and the Greens' father, they actually sang together in a group back in the 50s.
Wow.
Sure enough.
It was like, genetically designed that we should sing together.
Wow.
And so we just got together and we then started grabbing the other brothers in. And We pulled the bass in from another group. He sang in another group as well. And just, we pulled it all together. And to answer your question directly, Evan, there is one unquestioned leader of this group, and that is element number 7.
Wow.
There you go.
Unbelievable. Kurt, let me ask you a question. How long have you been with the group?
Gosh, well, from the beginning, I think they had talked earlier when we actually started. I was right around 79. I believe I was, I don't know, I guess.
Before that, Kurt. Before that.
Yeah, even before that, you're right. But yeah, I've been singing from the origin, the beginning of the group itself. So I've been one of the original members.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I'm the last of the 4.
Wow. Okay, now Kevin, let me ask you a question, Kevin, because I'm trying to go down my list to give everybody a little time. Kevin, when did you join the group? Did you join at the same time as your brothers?
Yeah, I'm one of the brothers. So I was probably 11 years old when we started, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, Kevin, what is the difference between baritone and bass? Because Dean does the bass and Kevin, you do the baritone. So who's deeper, you or Dean?
Yeah, I like to say the baritone is a high bass.
Okay, all right. So Dean, you're the guy that brings the bottom in, all that bass, the bottom into the music, right?
Yes, I am.
Why did I know he was going to do that?
you know the softball, man. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. So Dean, you're the guy that brings all those bass lines to the music, huh?
Yes, I am.
Wow. And how long have you been with the group?
I have to tell you that I had to stop myself from laughing aloud because you were asking them when they started with the group, and I'm the most recent addition.
Oh, you're the baby in the bunch.
Oh. I'm the baby in the bunch in every respect, because when they said in the mid 70s that they were getting started, I was born in the mid 70s.
Be careful, Dean. Be careful.
Wow. So what I'd like to do is play some of what the world needs now is love for our listeners. So we're gonna play this. This is another one of my favorites.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Darren, help me sing. We don't need.
It's just really, truly amazing. The harmonies are just. I feel like I close my eyes and Bonnie, I feel like I'm listening to Boys to Men for some reason, right, Bonnie?
Yeah, and the music kind of gives me that sense and feel like I'm floating or something. Question for you, fellas: like, who were your earliest musical inspirations?
Well, we have to go down the line because if they all talk together, we're not going to hear nothing. So let's start with Mark. Mark, who is your musical inspiration?
There is so many. I'm going to just say from an individual standpoint, I always was into the songwriters. So Lionel Richie was my greatest influence.
One of the great ones.
Yeah.
Songwriter.
It's funny because, I was thinking about Lionel Richie when I was asking the question, because like right away when I heard you fellas, I did think of the Commodores.
Yeah, that's another one that comes to mind. Yeah. Definitely. Right. Darren, what about you? Who is your musical inspiration?
Well, there are a couple. I'd have to say right off the top, as far as songwriters, Billy Joel. I'd have to say Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I'd definitely have to say Singers Unlimited.
I like that. What about you, Garth?
Well, it's kind of similar to Darren. I'm not necessarily the guy that listens to words. I'm more of a music guy.
Mm-hmm.
My all-time favorite group is Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, love it, Maurice White. I miss Maurice White being up front.
White,
yes,
my favorite,
without a doubt. Kurt, what about you? Who's your musical inspiration?
Well, I've always been a jazz guy. So, David Sanborn, growing up in college, and going through that.
Yeah.
And my big thing in that song you were just listening to, we have a little percussion part. That's my little thing. So I like the percussion section. So I've kind of included a little bit of that in there. So.
Nice. Kevin, what about you? Well, who's your musical inspiration?
Well, they stole all the good guys. So, but I'm going to say Earth, Wind & Fire, Michael Jackson, all the good guys.
Oh, definitely.
Luther Vandross.
Oh, Luther Vandross, one of my all-time favorites, gone way too soon.
And Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones, another one
Quincy
also.
Jones, yeah.
Yeah, another one of those guys.
Sounds like about it.
Yeah. Hey, Dean, what about you? Who's your musical inspiration?
My biggest musical inspiration is a group called Take Six.
Oh, I definitely know who they are.
Oh, yeah.
And I would also say David Foster from a songwriter standpoint. I really enjoy his music.
Wow. Now, you guys tour all over the place. You've been around the globe. And from what I understand, Garth, you and I had a conversation. You're coming down sort of in this area. In fact, one of you guys are from West Palm. Who lives in West Palm?
That's me. Dean Dennis.
Dean, you live in the newbie, right?
Yes, the baby.
The baby lives in West Palm Beach. But you guys are going to be down, I think, Garth, we had a conversation about that. Did you confirm that? Is that true? You guys are going to be down in Pembroke Pines area sometime soon?
Well, actually, I meant to talk to you about that. That was cleared up. That was something that was on our schedule from last year. Now, with the virus out there, we've been laying low over the last few months.
Right.
So this particular engagement, I think Dean, you've cleared that up, right?
All right. So is it a yay or a nay?
It's a nay.
It's a nay for right now, but hopefully it will turn into a yay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you guys are going to have to keep us posted and let us know when you're going to be touring in somewhere in this area. Because me personally, I want to come see you guys. I would love to get you guys at our church. We belong to Christ Fellowship. As you know, Christ Fellowship is a huge church with campuses all over South Florida and the Treasure Coast. I would love personally to get you guys to come to our church, but I just I can't snap my fingers and make magic happen. Garth, what were you going to say, Garth?
I was about to say, we are ready anytime you are. So just let us know.
Yeah, I know. And I'm also working on getting these guys to come sing the national anthem for the New York Mets spring training next year, which I know that Garth is a die-hard Mets fan. He has already made that emphatically clear to me.
1969, Evan.
Wow.
1969.
Wow.
Okay?
I was at the I was at the 69 World Series, so I definitely was there. So I know what that's like. I was sitting. My dad was the president of Ballantine Beer back in the day.
Get out of here!
Yes, I'm serious.
They remember Valentine.
Yes, of course. Are you kidding? Some of these guys are Rheingold. Yes, Rheingold. Definitely, definitely. So,
hey, Evan, I have a question.
Phil has a question for you guys. Go ahead, Phil.
Hey, when you decide to go start a new song out and put it in your repertoire, how do you go about punching out the harmonies and to get all that straightened out so make sure it is pitch perfect?
Yeah, so we essentially we do everything that we sing has to be scored in advance. So it's actually reduced to sheet music, and then we all come in and we learn our parts, and the blessing of the Lord is from there. As far as making pitch perfect, we think it's the seventh element that makes it perfect.
How long does the process take?
It
depends on the length of the song, of course.
Wow.
Okay.
Guys, I wish I could keep you guys longer. We're running out of time because we have to get to news, but I definitely want to have each and every one of you back. And Garth, I will stay in touch with you. I've already sent the video to the powers to be. Right now, they're dealing with some other things. We're just trying to get this season going and get things underway. But we will definitely have all you guys back. And I can't thank each and every one of you enough for what you guys do. And your music's amazing, and it's just so great, right,
and
Bonnie?
You all have great speaking voices too, by the way.
I would hope so.
I mean, seriously, the voice is very, very nice.
Even the baby in the bunch as well.
Well, that high guy.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
Hey,
us.
listen, God bless each and every one of you, and we will stay in touch. And the best of luck to you. And again, God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
God bless you.
Evan, thank you very much.
All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. News time right now. It's 8:22. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Thank you, Evan. New help could be on the way for some St. Lucie County residents who are suffering economically from COVID-19. WPTV's Derek Lowe has more.
County leaders say they've received nearly $14 million in state funding to help with COVID-related expenses, and then more could be on the way very soon.
Anything will help.
Amber Gilbert is just one of several St. Lucie County residents who has been economically impacted by COVID-19.
Basically, we had about 43 events during the month of March, and halfway through, more than half of them got canceled.
Beginning Wednesday, county leaders are now accepting applications for grants through the CARES Act. Residents who have lost work due to COVID-19 and are within the designated income range could receive up to $4,000.
You have to show that you were negatively impacted, you're suffering an economic hardship.
The grants can only be used for bills such as mortgages, utilities, car payments, or insurance. Documentation of a past due notice must be provided.
We had over 250 applications already submitted through the website. So certainly the need is there.
The stress levels are different than they are when you're busy. We were used to having a certain income, and that has been affected by this. It's pretty much been stopped.
Up to 10% of the money given to the county will eventually be relayed to cities for things like additional testing and more PPE. The county says those whose application is approved will receive the money in about 1 to 2 weeks. We've posted the full requirements to be eligible over on our website, WPTV.com. But for now, reporting in St. Lucie County, I'm Derek Lowe, WPTV News Channel 5.
The city of Fort St. Lucie will host a listening forum on July 16th.
George Floyd's death has been the catalyst for nationwide protests for racial justice, and Port St. Lucie wants to be a part of that solution. The city's Forum on Race Relations and Inclusion is hosting a listening session on July 16th, and they're asking people in the community to listen and share their concerns as the city works to maintain its promise of being a place for all people.
And lastly, Wayne Mixon, who served the shortest term as governor of Florida, has died at his home in Tallahassee. Mixon served just 3 days as governor back in 1987 when Governor Bob Graham resigned to be sworn into the U.S. Senate. Wayne Mixon was 98. A new Florida sports rivalry is underway. At ESPN's Wide World of Sports last night, Orlando City defeated Inter Miami by a score of 2-1 in the opening match of the Major League Soccer is Back tournament. Orlando plays again on Tuesday against NYCFC. Miami also plays that morning against the Chicago Fire. News time 8:25. Weather and traffic together are next.
$8:26 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. All brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
We're not finding any traffic accidents right now. Everything is looking good. US 1 moving smoothly. Major highways are clear. There's your latest look at traffic. We have 78 here in Stewart. Here's more on our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, very warm and humid with lots of sunshine and light winds. This afternoon, partly sunny with high temperatures in the low to mid 90s and the heat index in the low 100s. And we're going to be close to some record highs today. Winds will be light out of the southwest and rain chances are lower today, but a few showers and thunderstorms are possible this afternoon. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the biggest little radio show on the biggest little planet, the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie.
8:29 the time right now. It just clicks over to 8:30 on the dot. Just like a mission launch ready to blast off. Here's Randy Siegel with the latest and greatest on what's happening in NASA. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, sir. Well, it was back in 1979 that NASA's Voyager 2 spacecraft flew by Jupiter on its way out of the solar system. It gave us a lot of science as it went past Jupiter at only 350,000 miles. So that only happened once before. And NASA gleaned a whole lot of data on the interstellar space out there. The Progress vehicle, 74P, undocked from the International Space Station yesterday after spending 7 months attached to the Pier's docking compartment. The trash-packed resupply ship will descend into Earth's atmosphere above the South Pacific for a fiery but safe demise. 76P, the replacement, will take its place when it is launched on the 23rd at 10:26 a.m. and docks just 3.5 hours later at that same Piers module. 4 out of the 5 Expedition 63 crew members did a little acquisition check to see about the habitability of the SpaceX Crew Dragon. 4 of them, Doug Hurley, Bob Behnken, who piloted the Crew Dragon, were joined by Chris Cassidy and Russian flight engineer Anatoly Ivanushin for a 1-hour habitability test. The crew were arranged in the cabin to suit the 4 space residents to report their comfort levels to ground engineers as to whether or not 4 people could easily be accommodated, if necessary, on board the Crew Dragon. The Crew Dragon ultimately will carry 7, or is capable of carrying 7 astronauts to and from the International Space Station. While they were setting up the Crew Dragon test, the 3 NASA astronauts also had time for ultrasounding of the eye, microfluid studies, and orbital plumbing work. The 2 Russian cosmonauts, including flight engineer Ivan Wagner, juggled a variety of Russian space research and tested Soyuz crew communication gear. The orbit of the International Space Station will be adjusted on the 11th. The reason for the adjustment is to put it in phase for the next Progress vehicle that will be headed for the International Space Station. So everything looks like it's going to go extremely well. They will increase the altitude of the vehicle by about 1 kilometer, just short of a mile. China is still working with their Yutu-2 rover on the far side of the moon. And they are saying they are making some discoveries that they hadn't seen before. The authors of the paper on research say that the material is a dark greenish and glistening impact melted breccia, which is part of the surface. It's kind of like glass. They don't understand exactly how that occurred. They think it may have been from volcanic activity that took place on the moon's far side, but they're still working on understanding all of the new materials that they're finding during this quest. Yesterday, NASA was forced to call off the launch of the Starlink mission when the Falcon 9 could not get airborne before weather was going to set in. So as a result, the launch has now been rescheduled for just before 11 a.m. on Saturday from the Kennedy Space Center. If all goes well, a Falcon 9 rocket will place into orbit a cadre of Starlink satellites for their communications service. The Martian mole that we had in the InSight lander on Mars is having problems again. They burrowed the heat probe into the surface, and they were trying to hammer it down a little bit further to get it about 10 feet into the underground area to listen for seismic Marsquakes and to get other research on the heat flow of Mars. However, they continue to have problems with that probe as they try to extract it. The last time they did that, they were not able to extract it for some time. So currently what NASA has done is they've hit the pause button. They said, let's just take a look at all the data first before we make any further moves on the Martian surface with this particular probe. NASA has apparently also hit a pause button with Congress. The House of Representatives did not give them their 12% increase that they requested in the fiscal year 2021 budget, even though it is but the first step by the House Appropriations Committee. The committee said that they're going to hold the same level of $22.6 billion instead of increasing it to $25.2 billion as the administration has requested. NASA is trying to deliver on President Trump's goal of putting the first woman and the next man on the surface of the moon by 2024, the end of a second Trump term if he is reelected in November. It appears that some of this may be politically generated, that not giving NASA the money may be a result of politics, not a result of not having the money. Lastly, we want to tell you that you may be able to shortly buy La Fragrance of Space. A company, a Kickstarter company, is starting to sell Eau de Space to the public, an aroma recreated by NASA decades ago with the help of astronauts. Kind of smells like gunpowder. Tomorrow, we'll tell you more about Russia and more about their cosmonauts. So until then, have a great day, everybody.
That's your latest space report by the one and only Randy Siegel, who's on the program each and every weekday at 8:30 a.m. Time to head on over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie's standing by with the latest and greatest to soothe your appetite.
And there's nothing like sinking your teeth into one of Ellie's Deli's fresh jumbo wraps. Get the honeybee wrap today. This one includes honey ham, it's roasted chicken in there, some sweet Dijon sauce, Swiss cheese, some bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Of course, wrapped in a wrap of your choice. So get the fresh garlic, herb, tomato, basil, or spinach today. Served with a side two of your choice. You can try some delicious, crispy, cool coleslaw. Maybe enjoy a hot bowl of soup today with your fresh jumbo wrap at Ellie's. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart now has their patio back open. Plus, they are at 50% dining inside with a full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's also has full dinners available for takeout, plus their fabulous desserts as well. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up today. They're located at 18 Southeast 6th Street. They're just off Colorado Avenue in Stuart. Call 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart.
Time for the Precious Metals Report, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold is opening up at $1,809 an ounce, and silver is opening up at $18.82 an ounce. That's your Precious Metals Report, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. 8:39 news time. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning once again, Evan. A Treasure Coast woman says for the second time she's being locked out of accessing her account with the state's unemployment system and cannot collect benefits. WPTV's Matt Chesney has the story.
Locked. And that's what it says. It's locked.
Elizabeth Bunakis of Stuart has had no way to access her unemployment benefit account for over a month now.
Apparently because whoever keyed in my name from my paper application misspelled my name.
It was a problem Elizabeth says she thought was fixed in May, but weeks later, the identity issue popped up again, cutting her off.
That's what we're still getting back to.
So we reached out to the experts, the local DJs turned unemployment troubleshooters, and got this surprising answer that it may be about the first digit of a Social Security number.
One thing I found is about 95% of the people that are locked out of their account are from out of state. They weren't born in the state of Florida.
Really?
And that's what I can tell by the social. Whenever a social has a zero in front of it,
right.
Most of the time a zero means New York.
Elizabeth has a zero. Her zero is from Massachusetts. And zero is exactly where she's getting with DEO, both on the phone and online.
I've sent them two or three times my driver's license and social security number to the special identity email, and with a note, please unlock.
We did send an email to DEO about unlocking Elizabeth's account. So far, the only reply we've gotten is that they will look into it. In Stuart, Matt Chesney, WPTV, News Channel 5.
The city of Port St. Lucie will host a listening forum on July 16th, and WPTV's Yanni Rodriguez has more.
George Floyd's death has been the catalyst for nationwide protests for racial justice, and Port St. Lucie wants to be a part of that solution. The city's Forum on Race Relations and Inclusion is hosting a listening session on July 16th, and they're asking people in the community to listen and share their concerns as the city works to maintain its promise of being a place for all people.
A Florida father and his 3 sons sold a product they touted as a cure for COVID-19, but was actually toxic bleach, federal prosecutors said Wednesday. Mark Grennan, age 62, and his sons, Jonathan Grennan, 34, Joseph Grennan, 32, and Jordan Grennan, age 26, all of Bradenton, have been charged with conspiracy to defraud, conspiracy to violate the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, and criminal contempt According to a criminal complaint, the Grennans manufactured, marketed, and sold Miracle Mineral Solution as a drink that could prevent, treat, and cure the coronavirus. In reality, though, it was actually a solution containing sodium chloride and water that, when ingested orally, becomes chlorine dioxide, a powerful bleach typically used for industrial water treatments or bleaching textiles, pulp, and paper, prosecutors alleged. The worst day in college sports since the worst day, March 12, when COVID-19 shut everything down. Ohio State, which fields more varsity athletic programs after an undisclosed number of positive joining a growing list of schools to halt efforts to bring back sports. And also Stanford dropping this stunner. The preeminent all-sports athletic program in America is dropping 11 varsity programs after the 2020-2021 season ends. News time, it's 8:43. Weather and traffic together are next.
$8:44 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. All brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
No accidents, but just keep in mind to the north of us on the turnpike up in Fort Pierce area, mile marker 172, both directions, northbound and southbound. The left lane is blocked with road construction in that area. Your latest look at traffic. We're up to 80 in Stewart. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, very warm and humid with lots of sunshine and light winds. This afternoon, partly sunny with high temperatures in the low to mid 90s and the heat index in the low 100s. And we're going to be close to some record highs today. Winds will be light out of the southwest and rain chances are lower today, but a few showers and thunderstorms are possible this afternoon. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
back to the Get Up and Here's Evan and Bonnie.
$8:47, the time on the Get Up and Go show. Bonnie, it's time to hop in our vehicle and get on the turnpike.
We better drive there fast.
Yes, got to
We
get
wanna-
up to Yeehaw Junction right away.
Want to get us some of that top 10.
Because we have to bring back the top 10 list and then drop it off on Palm Beach Gardens or Jupiter. So Phil has it in time for the world famous, one and only top 10 list. All brought to you by Philly B.
Thank you, Evan. And good morning. From the home office of Yeehaw Junction, Florida, top 10 fun facts. Top 10 fun facts. These are just some nice random fun facts for you to educate yourselves, or as we say on the show, edumacate here on the Get Up and Go show. So top 10 fun facts. Number 10, in Margaritaville, the leading cause of death is wasting away.
Oh,
I like that one. Okay.
Number 9, Jim Henson's earliest Muppets were hollowed out animal carcasses.
Oh.
oh no.
Oh, no.
Say it isn't so.
All right.
Number 8, Drew Carey got the Price is Right job after correctly guessing what his salary would be without going over. Number 7, the most popular flavor of chapstick is bacon.
I think Fredo could use
Yeah,
some.
Fredo's probably happy on that.
Yeah,
one.
right?
He'll be
Yes.
licking his lips all day.
Yeah.
Number 6, a worker loses a finger every 30 seconds at the Chef Boyardee factory.
Oh,
No.
oh.
Oh, no.
Number 5, although a lobster claw is strong enough to crack a walnut, lobsters don't care for walnuts.
Okay.
We never knew that.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Exactly.
We can use it around what used to be the water cooler.
Number 4, 64% of American students cannot find Funky Town on a map. Number 3, if you say, have a nice day to someone after 5 p.m., it refers to the next day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I do that. I make a mistake like that. Like, oh, have a nice day. Oh, wait a minute. It's nighttime.
Number 2, Apple is developing an artificial heart that holds 1,000 songs.
Okay. Interesting.
And number 1, if your name is Rachel, it might as well be Megan. And that's your top 10 list.
You had to do that, didn't you? Wow. You know, I'm already in the doghouse as it stands.
You know what?
Okay.
It's okay because Gary calls me Sue once in a while. And Sue is
Please tell me Sue's not an ex of his.
Sue is his ex-wife.
Oh my God.
And you know, it's
You know what? I've done that. I've called Veronique Marianne.
you see? You see now?
All right. So I have a top 10, actually a top 5 list. Okay. The top 5 signs that your hairstylist is not very good.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Top 5 signs your hairstylist is not very good. Number 5, she just asked if you know which one is the comb and which one is the brush. Okay.
But does she know the difference? Now
I
that
don't
counts.
Number 4, degree on the wall says from One Day Beauty College.
One day beauty college.
One Day Beauty College. Okay.
You don't have to be a beauty school dropout then. No excuse.
Okay.
I've had some haircuts from those people. Yeah.
Number 3, during your haircut, she uses the word sorry at least 20 times.
I like that.
Especially when you're missing an ear.
Yeah.
Oh. All of a sudden you look down and you see your ear on the floor.
Speaking of ears, number 2 tells you she's only cut off 3 ears in her entire career.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That wasn't planned, by the way. And number 1 comment heard most often after a visit is, "Oh my God, what just happened?"
Yeah.
And there's your
Yeah.
top 5 signs your hairstylist is not very good.
There actually was one time I went to a hairstylist. You can't believe what I did. After my haircut, I started crying.
Okay.
I was feeling very emotional that day.
All right.
And she just chopped up my bangs
Too bad, huh?
completely.
I have one more top
yeah.
5 list, by the
Oh,
way.
you do?
I have 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a double header today for me.
all
Yeah.
right.
He's
Yeah.
locked and loaded for
Yeah,
two
I'm
shots
definitely
here. Yeah.
2 for 1 here. I'm locked and loaded. The top 5 signs your dog is planning to run away from home.
Oh.
Top 5 signs your dog is planning to run away from home. Number 5, you just found a pamphlet on their bed that says how to neutralize the invisible fence.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Okay. Number
Yeah.
4, you found a small backpack stuffed with milk bones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Number 3, you look over and you say to yourself, "Is that a doggy suitcase?" Number 2, elaborate secret tunnel system discovered in your own backyard.
Mm.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, there's a travel poster in his house featuring fire hydrants from around the entire world.
The dog's been everywhere.
And there's your top 5
Yeah,
signs
right?
that your dog is planning to run away from home.
Snoopy, come home.
Yes, without a doubt. So it's been an interesting show today. I will say that much, guys.
Yeah, it's been quite interesting. I loved the fellas that you met from the Seventh Heaven fellas.
Yeah, they were great.
They're the Seventh Element.
Seventh Element.
Yeah,
Yes, Seventh Element.
They were cool for sure.
They were very, very good. I really enjoyed having them on the program. Their music is very, very inspirational. I will say that much.
That harmony just made me feel so peaceful right here.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're floating.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Very good.
Oh, wow.
Very good.
Yeah.
So were you kind of floating there, Bonnie?
Oh yeah, as hearing
floating.
the next time we have them on, maybe they'll do a little ditty for us. Maybe a little performance.
Oh,
musically.
well, no, it's hard for them to do that on Zoom.
Oh,
because
I
they're
see.
they're in 6 different locations.
I see.
So to get all
Okay.
6 of them talking at one time
Yeah.
would be a complete disaster.
Maybe we can get the boys
if
all together.
They'll cut out and everything else. It's
Yeah.
kind of weird, especially get that minuscule delay
Yeah.
when everybody talks too. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little off.
You know, because I
yeah.
did ask them if they could sing on the air, live, and
Oh, right.
they kind of shot that down just because of the actual delay.
Well, maybe we'll use Skype next time.
Well, it's the same thing.
Okay.
It all does the same thing. It literally all does the same
But
thing.
it would be nice to get them all together.
Now, coming up tomorrow is the return of round 2 of 5-second rule with the returning champion from the Stewart Police Department.
Let me see if I can get his name right.
Go ahead.
Brian Bosio.
There you go.
you
Sergeant Brian Bosio returns tomorrow
Yeah.
to defend his reigning championship against another Stewart Police Department police officer. And at the end of 11 weeks, whoever has the most wins goes up against the chief of police from the Stewart Police Department.
And
Oh, boy.
it was a close one too last week,
Yeah.
Phil. Our boss, we call him
Yeah, we
our
call him
boss.
Boz.
The boss. He won by just like a point last week.
Yeah.
It was a close match.
It was very close.
Yeah.
And then also coming up next week, Thursday, live in studio, Megan McRoberts from our news
Oh.
partner, Channel 5, is going to be here for the entire 8 o'clock hour.
It's going to be nice to see her once again.
And she's going to play 5-second rule She's going to play 5-second rule against John Shaneman.
And I like them both so well. I don't
Yeah.
even know who I'm going to be rooting for.
I'm voting for Megan.
Are you?
I love Megan McRoberts.
Okay, I like them both so well. I'm a little betwixt by it.
Well, betwixt. That's a new word for you. Wow, you're using
what
big
day
girl
is that,
words.
Evan?
That's Thursday next week.
Next week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll
Nice.
be off.
I might be on. I don't know.
Okay.
I have to. The schedule has not come out yet.
All right.
So.
But you might be betwixt when it does come out.
Betwixt.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bonnie used a big girl word
And,
this morning.
and on that note, have a Twix bar today. What
Yeah,
the heck?
I can. You
What
got to
the
get a
heck?
cookies and cream one now.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
Twix bar.
you got to get some Lay's potato chips, guys, because they're coming out with their new flavors this month. After restaurants, they're going to have the New York style pizza one inspired by Grimaldi's in New York, the Nashville hot chicken inspired by Party Fowl in Nashville, and also Cantana's street taco inspired by El Torito in LA.
Oh, wow.
If you like those
Nice.
nice Lay's potato
Why do you
chips.
do that to me? Why? Just why do you do that to me where I'm on the last week of my diet and you start talking about crap food?
Oh, but last week of your diet, huh? Well, you can enjoy some next
I
week.
cheated yesterday.
If I buy a bag, I'll save some for
I
later.
had 3 slices of mushroom cheese pizza.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
And I lost a pound to boot. How does that work? Got up this morning, I was a pound less.
Was it magically delicious?
I don't know, but man, it was damn good. Anyway, hey, Phil, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Fredo, have a great day. Thank the
man.
boys in the band. They got a good meal today. And Bentley, great job today on cooking.
Thank you, sir.
We'll talk to you next time, folks. We're out of here. We're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. We say chow mein.
Honduras.
And Arriva Dirty. The words of Ellen DeGeneres. Always, always be kind to one another.
And stay walking with a happy tune in your step today.
There you go, folks. We'll see you tomorrow for the Friday edition. Bye-bye for now.